Hey everyone, it's Coach Mo. I'm here for the final installment of why women are still not ahead. If you're new to my work, I am Coach Mo Faul. I want you to bring your soul to work to land your dream job. Most of the women I work with and I talk to on the career clarity calls that we offer are usually in the right profession, but something has gone terribly wrong in their careers, and they're either flattened. They've not gotten a raise, they've not gotten a promotion, they've not moved forward, they haven't progressed, and they feel stuck, and they begin to get lifeless. Why? Because the inner being inside of us all wants to grow, wants progress, wants more in life. And when our career is shut down, it shuts down the whole power plant of the soul. That's why your career is so important to you. It can either enliven or shut you down. I want you to be enlivened, of course. And so many women I talk to, and all the women I work with, have been shut down in one way, shape, or form. And the last topic I want to cover in this series of why women are still not ahead, there's a huge power and pay gap that still exists in the world, most importantly in the work world. All of you women who work for a living are, of course, wanting to be happy, paid well, and be appreciated in your career and in your lives. So we got to get to that. But the question on the table for today, do you have to be like a man to succeed? Most of you might think you have to be a man to succeed. But I'm here to tell you something very different. Because the problem lies more in how we approach things and how we interpret things. I'm going to get to both of those today. How we approach things and how we interpret things as women can indeed cause problems. We as human beings, not just women, but as human beings, are meaning-making machines. Like, we want to attach meaning to everything so that we can sort it out and whether it's dangerous for us or not. That's how we survive as a species. Is this dangerous? Is this not? Is this dangerous? Not. Friend or foe? Friend or foe? All our lives, every single thing that we're introduced to, we're filtering that equation. And what happens is that if we have an emotional response to the positive or to the negative, we immediately make a meaning to it, and it gets hardwired into our consciousness, otherwise known as our soul. That energy of who we are creates a matrix of filters. Who am I? And what is the world all about? And every single second, we're filtering stuff, whether it's friend or foe, danger or not, into those filters. So if you've been hurt by a bad boss, toxic work environment, asked for a promotion, didn't get it, asked for a raise and didn't get it, if that's been your experience, you're not going to want to go back and do that again. Because that experience is keeping you from getting hurt again. It's hardwired inside of you. So if you see men getting ahead, men getting ahead, men getting ahead, and you don't get ahead, you're of course going to think that you have to be either a man or like a man to get ahead. It's logical. That's what we're seeing. So what's wrong with me? And you're going to keep then questioning, what's wrong with me? That's what's going to happen. And over time, that question of what's wrong with me and your filters seeing the continued evidence of what's not happening for you is going to solidify and commit you to that reality. And that commitment to that reality is going to create an attractor pattern. It's a universal principle. It's a law. It's the way it works. I'm not making it up. You can't turn it off. You can't turn it on. It's the way it works. You will be attracted toward the thought, feeling, energy that you're committed to, that you play all day long. So if you're like, I'm not going to get ahead no matter what, I'm not going to get ahead no matter what, I'm going to continue to have to fight for every dollar I get, I can't pay my bills, I this, I that, I'm not going to ever get to that VP level because other people who are that VP level are all politically savvy and backstabbers, and I'm not that type of person, so I'm not going to be there. If you're committed to that, that's what you're going to see. Now, this is quite simple. This law. And it's quite simple to understand how your consciousness grabs these experiences and creates meaning out of them and structures your filters. Filter of self, filter of the world. Do I have to be a man to get ahead? Do I have to act like a man to get ahead? Do I have to be an arrogant, egotistical person to get ahead? We ask ourselves these questions, and then we see what we want to believe. Do you ever get a new car, a new Honda Accord? Let's say it's white. You've been looking for Honda Accords. You've been wanting that new one. You've been wanting it. All of a sudden, as soon as you want, you see Honda Accords all over the place. You're like, wow, everyone has a Honda Accord. And then you're like, you know what? I want a white one. And then all of a sudden, you see white Honda Accords all over the place. And then when you get your white Honda Accord, it's really all over the place. And you can't believe, where did all these white Honda Accords come from? What? It's amazing. All of a sudden. And the thing is, did those white Honda Accords exist before you got yours? And you just happen to have a filter now of noticing what it is that's a match? That's right. That's what's happening. Your filter system now is looking for and seeing things that are a match to your reality, your world view. So all your life, you've been creating matches for what you believe to be true and what you have energized in your thought process. So the answer to, do I need to be a man or like a man to be successful? The answer is no. So I'm just going to take that down off of my thing. No, you do not need to be like a man to be successful. What you do need to be successful is you need to be fully, wholly you. That's holy with a W, H-O-L, I think it's L-Y, holy. You need to be wholly, fully you. Masculine energy, feminine energy. You need to be bringing those two components of your big, beautiful, awesome soul to the table. But if you're bringing your self-view and your worldview of how flawed you are, how flawed the world is, how wrong the world is, how victimized this, and how you've never made money and you've never this and that and this and that, if that's what you're bringing to the table, that's what you're getting. And if I've talked to you on a clarity call, we've probably had conversations like this. And I'm upfront with you because, listen, your life is too precious for me to skirt around the issues. Your career is too important for me to skirt around these issues. The women who I've worked with, who we've elevated and lifted into their soulful power and into brand new, wonderful, awesome jobs that fit them to a T. We didn't dance around the issues. We got right at it. We got right at it. Because who you have to be successful is the whole version of you. You can't have a kick-ass resume, a kick-ass LinkedIn profile, and feel like crap inside because you haven't gotten the promotions or you haven't made the money. That incongruency will yield you this. I don't know why recruiters just don't get in touch with me. Everything looks fine on my resume and LinkedIn. I don't know why I'm not getting any action. You know, I get some interviews, but no one's hiring me. I think the job market is stalled out because people just aren't hiring. And you know, everything I've been interviewing for is either at or less than what I'm making now. So the job market's really stalled out. That's what you're going to think. Because when you're not in your full soul, full power, you are not going to get results that are better than where you're at. You're going to get results for where you're at. Your soul vibration, your consciousness, your thought, feeling, energy is a 100% predictor of where you're at. And where you're at is 100% predictor of what your life is. 100%. So when we get on a clarity call with each other, whether with me or one of my team members, we pretty much know where you're at. We call it your emotional home. That thought, feeling, energy of how you feel about yourself and how you feel about the big, beautiful world out there. That attractor pattern is showing up in your life. Now you may say, yeah, but that boss did that to me. And they're the ones who didn't pay me. And they're the ones who this, and they're the ones who that. I know. I get it. I've been there. I've not gotten the promotions. I've gotten fired. I've gotten downsized. I've gotten reorganized out. I've gotten bullied in meetings. I've gotten shamed, pushed around, sexually harassed, demeaned, everything. I've not gotten bonuses that were due to me. I get it. I've played at the highest levels in corporate America, and I've played at all the levels from being a bedside nurse as a young nurse all the way up the ladder. I know exactly what it feels like to be playing that game and not winning. I know what it feels like to win also. But you know what? Even when you win, there's some things going on that you still have to face. And that was my journey. My entire corporate career was facing my warrior's journey. And when I didn't take up the inner lesson, it got taken up for me. Fired, laid off, negative result, demeaning boss. When you don't take up your journey, when you don't claim your wholeness, when you don't step into the way God and your divine creator made you, if you don't step into that, they're going to be tapping you on the shoulder, slapping you across the face, putting you in car accidents, cancer. It's the way of the universe. Someone has got to get your attention. If things aren't working out for you, if you're not making the money, if you're not getting the promotions, if you keep attracting the same toxic bosses, guess what? Wherever you are, there you are. So wherever you go, there you are. If you don't fix you, you're not going to have the career and the life that you need. So you do not need to be like a man to succeed. There are plenty of failed, flawed men who are not succeeding also. Plenty of them. We're human beings. We're all flawed. We're all working on this thing. We're all trying to be better. We're all digging deep. And if you choose not to take on the journey of your soul, you will not be happy and successful. You have got to decide to take on this journey, or you will decide for yourself a life of struggle and suffering and pain. And at some point in your life, you will decide that you are a victim. And that victim you is going to get further hurt. And she's going to get diseased. And she's going to do everything she can to try to find some avenue of pleasure and feeling better. And she might start drinking too much. She might have to get on antidepressants. She might overeat or overshop. And a variety of other ways that we ameliorate our pain. The suffering of the soul is a very difficult life to have. But so many humans choose it. So many humans choose the suffering life. You don't have to be a man to be successful. You don't have to be like a man to be successful. You have to be in the exact likeness of your soul's divine selfhood. That's what you need to be successful. Your soulful, beautiful, awesome self. Not the one that judges, not the one that criticizes you, not the one that says, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that, and I shouldn't have done that, and I shouldn't have done this, and I don't work hard enough. Everyone else works harder. I got to raise my kids, so it's all because I have to raise my kid. That's why I'm not successful. Or, you know what, my parents got sick a couple of years ago, and my career got derailed, and I just haven't been able to get back on track yet. Whatever the situation, whatever the story is that's come across your life, we all have them. Every single one of us. We have a story. We have trauma. We have life events. We have childhoods that were not perfect. We have coaches and teachers who took advantage of us. We have bosses who treated us poorly and kind of put us in a situation to negatively think about ourselves and process things about ourselves that maybe weren't true. And we had people telling us not to feel how we felt, not to dream our dreams, and not to stretch out and try something new because we might get hurt or it might not happen. And so what we've been told is that we can't handle not having things happen. We've been told we can't really handle our emotions. And we've been told not to be emotional. As women, we've been told a lot of things, and they're all lies. Every single story that's holding you back is a lie. Every single story that you've been told to hold yourself back is a sin against your soul and your divine, beautiful self. You've got to pick a day where you say, I'm no longer playing small. You've got to pick a day where you say, I'm no longer going to judge and criticize myself. I'm going to step into my power and own my life. I'm going to be responsible for me. You've got to find a day where you decide that you're not a victim and that it's up to you to create and craft the life that you want, because you know what? It is, and you can do that. So you don't have to be like a man to do that, but you have to be like yourself. You have to play full out. There's not a single person that's ever been on their deathbed and said, I played too full out. I don't know what I was thinking going for that promotion. I don't know what I was thinking trying to be myself. No one has ever said that. But you know what they do say? I wish I would have played higher. I wish I would have gone for it. I wish I would have trusted myself. I wish I would have dreamed bigger. I wish I would have really gone for higher impact and more influence so I could have really done more in the world. That's what they say when they're dying. That's what they say. I've seen a lot of people die in my life. As a nurse, stood beside and held people's hands while their hearts failed. They don't talk about regretting going for it. Never. Never. Even if the circumstances cause some type of failed situation, it's never, oh, I should have never really tried to do that awesome thing. People don't say that. What they say is, why didn't I give it a try? Why didn't I go for it? Why did I stay miserable for 20 years knowing that I was miserable? Why did I stay in that? Why did I stay victim? That's what people say. So you don't need to be like a man. You need to be like yourself. You need to be fully, wholly owning your journey, your path. For you. Why do women not have the same success rate as men? Why do we have a power gap? Why do we have a pay gap? Because we've been told all of our lives not to go for it. We've been told all of our lives to play with the baby doll, to take care of the babies, to be the caretaker of everyone. We've been told all of our lives that Ken is going to come save us. We've been told all of our lives that we're not capable of things. And then we start seeing it to be true. Barbie doesn't get ahead. Ken gets ahead. Barbie falls off Ken keeps climbing up. Because Ken was told to go for it. Ken was raised with the story and the self-belief that he's worth it, that he's supposed to go for it. Ken got a different instruction manual than Barbie. Not in the packaging. There's no instruction manual in there. I've checked it out, even though I'm keeping these in their packages because I want to donate them to a charity. I got these toys from Target so I could make my point in my Facebook Lives. So Barbie was told certain things that brought her down, and Ken was told certain things that brought him up. So you don't have to be like Ken to succeed, but you need to be you. You weren't told how to be you. You were told not to be you. You were told not to be powerful, not to be smart. The boys won't like you. Don't be egotistical. Be a perfectionist. If you don't get every answer right, if you don't have the report perfect, you're not good enough. You're going to be judged. And to work your butt off. And finally, if you keep your nose to the grindstone, they'll recognize you'll get ahead that way. Lies, all of them. You need to say to yourself this weekend, this day, I'm done with that. I am ready to emerge as the whole full self. So you don't need to be like a man. But you might need to do some things that men have done for centuries to get ahead. And when you become your whole self, those will be natural for you as well. Asking for your worth, being promotion ready, not having to work so hard to prove your worth, not having to be perfect in everything you do that's going to hold your progress back, not pushing your chair away and thinking, oh no, I don't have to sit at the table. Showing up big, asking for what you want and deserve, and freaking owning the truth that it is your divine, desired right to have more, to play higher, to have more influence, to have more impact, and for God's sake, to bring more money into your own pocketbook and family and future. It is your divine right to soar as high as you can because your Creator made you to soar as high as you can, not as low. Your Creator didn't have you come on this earth and go, you know what, for you, scratching on the surface is going to be good enough for you. Why don't you just get a college degree and maybe an MBA and then just play low and play small and shallow. That's what's going to be your path. Yeah, okay, so here, that's your ticket. No. Your desire for more, your desire to be educated, to be good at what your job is, to be seen and appreciated, it's coming from your soul. It's coming from the very, very essence of who you are. And that is where your power is. And if you shut that down with negative beliefs, negative stories, attaching meaning to things that are just the way it is, the way that happened, if you bring yourself down as a victim, you're shutting yourself off from that beautiful divine creature that was made to soar. So you don't have to be like a man to succeed. You need to act in ways that empower you, that get you what you need and want, that allow you to show up fully, that allow you to be seen as smart and valuable and appreciated and appreciative and recognized and paid well. That's what you need to do and be to be successful. And then you'll have more. Because when you begin to exercise the right you have to soar at the highest levels of you, you're going to attract more success to you. It's the way it works. It's the way it works. So recognize your greatness. Step out of that threshold of your comfort zone. Dare to be more who you are. Feel the power of you soaring into your greatness. Now, for many human beings on this planet, doing that, being uncomfortable, being outside of the box that you've lived in for decades, can be a very treacherous path. That's why, as a coach, I'm so passionate about helping my ladies and some of my men. I do coach some men. Soaring at bigger levels, but you've got to go through the muddy path. Sometimes you'll slip and fall. And if you're not guided by someone who knows what's going on, that slip and fall is going to send you back towards your comfort zone. It's not the message to go back to your comfort zone. It's just to make you stronger. You slip and fall so you can get up stronger. You have an obstacle in your path to make you stronger. I've coached some very high-level executives in my coaching years so far. I love, 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 love coaching people who have big ideas and big plans for themselves because they see that what they want and where they want to go and the influence and impact they want to make in the world is worth the journey. And the journey is worth them. That's what success is. It's never done. It's never over. The lessons never stop. But you have to have in your heart the worthiness that you are worthy of the journey. And that the journey in and of itself is going to take care of you, but not as a victim. Not as someone who plays small. Not as someone who stays in their box. This entire series I've dedicated to all the 5,000 plus women I've talked to on the clarity calls. We've brought about 530 women through our workshop to change their lives forever. So it's about 1 in 10. And I'll tell you what, there's 9 out of 10 of those ladies that I know there's something better for. It's not always a fit to come into my workshop. I get that. But there could have been more. They just didn't want to step through the threshold of something bolder, take the risk, make the investment in themselves. Or maybe they listened to someone else who said, "What, are you kidding me? You're going to invest in yourself like that? It's a lot cheaper than your college degree. It's a lot cheaper than your graduate degree. It's a lot cheaper than being passed over for a promotion." One of our ladies just nailed a beautiful job. Actually, a couple of them this week, several of them actually this week. Beautiful jobs. One woman, 50,000 more. One woman, 14. One woman hasn't worked in a long time. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions actually, over their lifetimes. That's the cost of playing victim. It's millions of dollars. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Every day you're not playing to your full, whole self. You're writing a check to your victimhood. That's what you're doing. Every single day you're not where you could be playing in the career and life world. You're writing a check to playing small. I don't like writing checks to victimhood and playing small. I don't like it. And you know what? There's no woman I've ever spoken to in over the 5,000 clarity calls who could afford writing their check to victimhood, but they do it anyway. This week alone, I've spent several hours with women making $40,000 or less with master's degrees. Some of them were making $73,000, $75,000 with MBAs. 20 years experience. Those companies are getting a bargain. And they're pigeonholing these women because they don't know how to ask for more and they don't know how to put themselves in a situation of success. And unfortunately for those women, they've chosen not to invest in themselves. They've chosen the life that they have. They're going to keep doing the same thing that they've always done. And they're going to expect different results. And there will be job losses and some tragic events to try to get their attention. It's what happens. I had breast cancer at the age of 46. And that got my attention. I've been doing therapy and coaching. I've been doing inner work and all the spiritual stuff. I've been doing it. But you know what? It wasn't deep enough. I didn't get to the real stuff until after my breast cancer journey. And I started getting into the real stuff, which meant my soul and what I'm here on earth to do and who I'm here to be for myself and for others. And when I finally tapped into that depth of my soulful, beautiful power, I came back from my breast cancer journey a different person. I was a different person inside because I began processing the world differently. My self-view changed dramatically. My worldview changed dramatically. There is not a single person who knows me who would have thought that I was playing victim up until the age of 46. But there was victim energy in me. And I caused that to always be working against me, even though I was successful and making decent money and having a decent career. I knew there was much more for me and I just couldn't get to it. And I blamed the rest of the world for not letting me play higher or promote me. After my breast cancer journey, I stayed at that company a total of 3+ years, and I was passed over for a promotion there. It hurt so bad. But here's the thing. That caused me and propelled me to the next final beautiful job I had. I had the opportunity to work in a great company and make a significant impact in a whole new way for myself and for that company. So if you're wondering if there's more for you, I will tell you there is. Book your clarity call. Let's have a conversation. My team and I are ready to rock your world of truth and see what's going on. And if what I do for a living in my kick-ass workshop is going to be the right remedy for what's going on with you, we want to help you get in. We want to help you move forward and commit to yourself and invest in yourself and finally get that final, lovely, beautiful soul vibe up to the highest level possible. It's so worth the journey. Thank you, clients, for joining me on this journey and the 5 sessions that we've had this week. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. This has been a heartfelt week for me, tackling these topics all week long and being in the space of knowing that we as women have so much more to do, so much more to be, so much more to experience and change the world. Join your sisters in their powerful journey. Become a woman who has decided to step up to her power, not like a man, but step up into your power as a full-fledged, beautiful, powerful, soulful woman. Be kick-ass. If you'd like to get started, you got to book that career clarity call, and it's mofaul.com/live clarity. Book that clarity call. Let's get started. At the very least, you're going to get super clear on what's going on with you. And if we can help you and you join and we change your lives, bravo. You'll be another bright, beautiful, brilliant soul on the planet. And we'll be happy to have helped you. If not, you'll at least know the truth of what's going on and perhaps have some insights. This has been a great time with each and every one of you. Thank you for joining this wonderful series. I want all women to close the power gap, close the pay gap, and be the powerful, powerful version that you are meant to be. Go have yourself a kick-ass rest of the evening and the weekend, and go rock your world. Be strong, be powerful, be a full, whole woman. That's what it's all about. See you next time. This is Coach Mo Faul, mofaul.com, and everywhere on social media at Coach Mo Faul. See you next time.